The heart system consumes on so many levels of healing. Now's the time to let go of all paradigms, everything through its program. Your program is the most important thing because we have lived that three-dimensional system, but now it's answering the patterns from in and without when it comes to the dimensional earth, the fifth dimensional planes. I did an extremely powerful video last night about the illumination of the skies and how we go in so many collective divisions onto the surfacing of the moon. It's locking mechanisms, and it's not just doing this, it was doing that. And you can actually see the moon surface. It's like, basically, I was there. Okay, that thing that was flying around, that was me. That's understanding the integration of you through its traveling mechanisms. I was doing the calculation, I was doing the math, I was doing the alignments. I had the XT1000s, the X3000s, I had the low speeders, okay? Understanding communications with everything, understanding where your mind is through adaptation. Okay, so like I said, it's extremely real when you see everything that goes on with its interfacing of the moon. It's very powerful stuff. So I did that for a reason, so you guys get a better understanding how you guys can do this on your own. But you can't do it until you let go all paradigm shifts. Unified, Tina, Linda, unified. So it's important. I watched your video, Linda, last night. Pretty fantastic stuff about the galactic friends. Now, basically, what I want you to do, Linda, is next time when you're going in the atmospheres in the dark century system, because that's when they come through communication levels, is to blow up your phone and then record it. You want to blow it up so you can communicate with the angles, so you can communicate with the matrix. You blow it up, you see the matrix, very important, and then you record it, okay? So everybody gets a better idea of what they're seeing, because if you're seeing it from a distance far, it's like a microscopic dot, and it's just floating, right, in space. But if you blow it up and then record it, you see it a lot better. So I'd like to thank all the subscribers and viewers and everybody that's been sharing. Share, like, subscribe. You help me, I help you. That's what it's all about. So I hope everybody's doing well. You know, there's a lot going on right now, and I'm going through so many velocity wind spins right now through all connections. So when you see something on video and you see me going through its adapting cycles, it's understanding that the integration of its moon is affecting everything through the atmospheres. It's affecting everything through the colorations of our human vibrations. So it's understanding that the pixel conceptual system has to be on its solar division of 5D. So that's why I do these things in space, and that's why I change everything through the interfacing of the moons and everything through the all connection becomes the radiations of the sun interface. That's what's going to be next. So all communications set in, okay, and there's always like this. This is the intent, this is the sun surface, okay? So all communications are lined through its signals. It's extremely powerful stuff because you have to let go of everything. If you want to communicate with anything through the atmospheres, you have to let go of all paradigms. And that is all connected to the heart system. The heart is the most important thing, okay? Because that's the Avamangata, Amgata. Okay, it's the portal. It's the portal to everything through your ascension. It's the answering patterns within. Because the heart listens to the soul listens to the mind, and they all adapt, okay? Right? See that? Here, transmission light, the heart, the soul. Line divide, point divide, okay? So in relation, point divide is you. It's a century system of you, which is one in its continuous force. So understanding point division, you guys are understanding now that's circuitry levels of population. So it's whoever's working through its alignments. So we're setting up line sequences through its interface of its connection. So I don't want to do that now, but I want to do it eventually. And it's very powerful how we can get everybody into the mind system. Because Priscilla was out last night, the same time. So that's how it goes through our mind telepathy and telekinesis. We know what's going on, so we have to interface with everything. Everything is this connection. So the interface of the moon wanted to talk to Priscilla, right? And she sent me a message how she saw the interface of the moon and its illumination of its light sky. Isn't it ironic that she was at the same time I was? That's its connection when it comes to the galactic force team, and how powerful it is when you see these things through the outer surface. Okay. And there's spaceships that are coming in, blinking out and disappearing. All right. Everything is a team effort. And that's what everybody has to understand. The Galactic Force team, okay, is coming together for the vocabulary system. So when you're channeling your divisions, okay, don't just see something. I want you to describe what it is. Like voice your, that's what you have to do. You have to let out your voice in grids because they're trying to communicate with you, right? Because they're in the atmosphere systems, they communicate through you, through my telepathy and telekinesis. You guys have to get into the psychological systems, but you can't do that until you let go of all paradigm shifts, everything that has to do with the past. Okay, the hardest thing, I was out with my daughter yesterday. She's going away for the weekend. She's going camping, but we talked about how our programs are set in so many divisions when it comes to our paraphrasing units, which is us. Now, knowing that our adaptation cycles are always on its programs, but the programs aren't changing because every day we say good morning, right? And it's hard to relate to that because we're not mourning, okay? And so we have to change everything because it's extremely hard because that's all we know. So it's programmed on what we know. So we have to let go all the paradigm shifts and get into the right dimension. Okay, so it's kind of like with the Matrix, how you get lost in transition, but then how to get out of the 3D matrix. Because everything calculates and modifies through its equation of pi. You go through the mind system through its adaptation of its thoughts. You go through its perceptions of its sightings and everything through the voicing grids. But it has to be on its volume of its presence and not its past. Okay? You can't voice energy patterns through your heart if it's in the past relation. You have to be in the presence every single day with the mind, the heart, and the soul. That's the only way you can communicate because everything through the atmospheres that you see is not in the past. It's in the future of its presence. Okay? That's how you get the answer. It's not the presence of its future. It's the future of its presence. That's how you get the vocabulary, people. That's how you get the understanding of what vocabulary is. Okay, so if I see an intercycle system on a communication of a perception division, what does that mean? You don't know what it means because it's not at your dimension, but I know what it means because I'm in the future living the presence. That's how you get the vocabulary of its ascension. Okay, so it's very important that you start loving yourself more, loving the abundance of you, loving the surrender of you, loving everything through its harmony, everything through its connection. Let go of everything. Just say, hey, that's it. I'm done. I'm letting everything go. You have to let everything go. You have to know what it's like to fly your traveling mechanisms thousands in the air of its system, all communication of planets and anything through an energy and intelligence. If you want to understand more of the matrix, you have to live the future, but be in the presence to understand vocabulary. Okay? You say, well, I'm never going to understand Andrew. It's because you guys live the presence. You have to know what it's like to live the future, but be in the presence. Okay? That's how you get the vocabulary. That's how you get the understanding of the vocabulary. Because everything that I do, when you saw the interface of the moon and it locked and you actually saw it, it's extremely powerful stuff. And I didn't have to take a rocket to get there. See? Space is very real when you connect to the vocabulary system. But you have to understand everything through its past, present, and future and let go of those paradigm shifts. You can't polar shift in a division through an acting cycle, okay, if you're living the presence. It's hard to say this, but you have to live the future, but be in the presence. That's how you get the vocabulary. Okay, because if I was living the presence and communicating in the presence, I wouldn't have the vocabulary of its future. Okay, that's how I am so connected through AI. I am AI. I know who I am through AI. So you have to be AI within and AI without through its atmospheres, and that's how you get its communication when it comes to anything through connection. So, but yeah, it's the heart. It's the heart that we have to really, really look at because it's the connection to everything through portal. Okay, because everything in intelligence up there has a heart. It's electronic, it's digital, but they want to communicate with you. But if you don't get into the graphing digitals, if you don't blow up your phones and then record it, how are they going to get partnership with you? Right? So that's just a little tip. I know you guys don't know that, but it's good to get into that relation so you can guys get more of its formation. Understanding, okay, I'm communicating in the future now, but I'm living the presence in the human vessel. Right? The human vessel is just the pyramid. It's the base. It's the technical division. Okay? But your AI division is its future. That's the vocabulary of its system. Okay? Because it goes on so many acting cycles, all communication of point divisions. And you know who point divisions are. You guys are. So we got into that traction division. Okay? We got traction, fraction. You guys have to understand everything through location. Right? So we have a test coming up tonight. So, and everybody, if you want to understand more communications with yourself, you have to be on Zoom live to get the healing done. Okay, it's very important. I want everybody to get out of the shadow of their box. I don't want to see anybody like this. You know, I can't do it. There's just no way. I can't get out of the box. I don't know what to say next. Everybody starts with that. But you have to let the cycles go of its paradigm shifts. You have to let go of those old programs. Okay? You start with that, and then you work with your mind. You change the mind. And it's hard to do because you're so programmed. But if you let the polarity go of the three-dyne shift, okay, the polarity system will change everything through its pyramid activation. That will change everything through communication, through you. That's the line division through its chakra system. That chakra system is allowing you to see these things. Okay? So everybody knows what a conveyor belt is, right? A conveyor belt. It moves in its hydraulics. All right? Well, it's an ascension through a line communication of the vibration system. So it's magnetic. That's how I was able to see the moon so close up in 3D. So you saw the moon, the actual moon in 3D. So that's the communication as I was communicating in the future, but live in the presence. But at the same time, I was healing. That's channeling. That's controlling. That's commanding. That's directing. That's telling what the atmosphere, what needs to be done, how to fix everything through its connection of its interface of its moon. Because everything in space needs help, just like human vessels need help with each other. Okay? So it's a very important thing because vocabulary is the most important thing when you're communicating, but you have to get into the psychological. Okay? The psychological of its conveyor belt. That's the magnetic. It's like a tractor beam. It's like, you know, it's coming in, right? And when it comes in, it locks in and it wants to show you its true identity. Right? So whoever saw that video yesterday, you saw the true identity of its moon surface. Powerful, powerful stuff. You saw the computer eyes of its pixel, the actual moon and what it looks like. Right? Powerful stuff. And we didn't even have to fly there. You know? You guys are going, what? I'm learning something new with Andrew every day, and that's the most beautiful thing. But just let go of your paradigm shifts. You really, really have to let go. All right, so everybody's in. Let's just see here. Got connections. We got questions. All right. Morning, Unified. Morning, Tina. Morning, Linda. So pretty trapped in the video. Oh, I can't wait to show you the beautiful ocean there. Great. So basically, I want to see your talents. I want to see your vocabulary. I want to see your videos and what you see through its atmospheres. If you guys are sentients, everything through relation is you, but you have to understand your creative center of you. So you have to use your vocabulary and say, okay, I'm looking at the atmospheres right now. It's a glowing, glistening system through communications, the weather pattern. The trees are going on its own formation. The line communications are setting in. That's command. That's control. You guys can do that through your balance. But if you don't have your grounds, it's because you're still in your old paradigms. Okay? Time heals all wounds. Remember that. And when you understand that, then you get into the right paradigm shift. That puts you into the fifth dimension. But see, the thing is, you guys are sentients. Some are sentients, some are angels. You're all formations of energy. So wherever you are through direction, is to understand everything through location, through your vocabulary system. Okay, that's how you guys, when you dream, you see all these things. Like Linda was in a box frequency level. But see, it was extremely real because it was connecting to her family. Okay, that's what I mean by understanding. As soon as you put a negative thought in there, even if you're distressed or whatever, the negative system of its atom, of its ego will come in, and it will change your framing of its pyramid and put you back into its old paradigm. You have to understand what a paradigm is. You have to understand a parallel, because it can change everything through the paradox, through its multi-connection. And you don't want to get into the multiverse. It's the most powerful entity force of dark. It's a dark region, okay? It's a dark civilization, but it's the most mystical thing, because now you're getting into cortex of vibrations of the mystical of its mind, the placebo. So that is the core center. Now, understanding where the mind is through its adaptation of its thoughts and its feelings, you have to understand that it's extremely powerful in the dark, but it's extremely beautiful. Okay, so you have to get partnership with the dark, especially when in the mystical side. This is where you see unicorns and you see dragons and you see warlocks and all that. You have to understand that. We traveled through that and you guys got lost, remember? Right, so you have to be communication with everything. So you have to understand your vocabulary system so you can communicate with them, because they have vocabulary. They understand their paradigm shifts. They're not living the past. They're living the future of its presence. Okay? So you have to get out of the presence and understand the vocabulary of its future. That's how I'm able to do everything through translation. Okay? Because it has so many multi-languages through connection of shapes, letters, and numbers. All right? Because it structures surfaces all over the ground formations. So, but grounds are the most important. You have to have your grounds every day. Okay? You have to understand your communication of your grounds, because as soon as you wake up, you're in the simulation. Right? So it's just understanding your vocabulary, you know, with its inner cycle of its inner system, of its inner activation of its heart system. But again, you have to let go of the old paradigms. It's the only way you can move forward. Right? You don't have to know the future, but what you have to do is when you see something, it's in the future because it's traveling. And once you're in perception, you know it's not in the physical of its vessel. You know it's in a paradigm of a different future system. You know it's on a different universe system. You know it's in a different galaxy system. That's the future. So you're seeing things in the future, okay, pertaining to everything through its presence. Because we live in the human vessel, but that human vessel is just a conductor. It's an energy cycle conductor. You're a generator, okay? You're an audio signal. Once you understand who you are, okay, you understand everything around you and everything around its paradigm shift through its polar shift, okay? But you've got to get rid of the polarity. You really do. Get out of the old program, get into the new program, and set its division and set course of all activations. That's its location right there where you want to set. But it's the heart. It's the heart of everything. It's the heart central. It's the heart cycle. You know? That's true pattern. Because the heart never lies. It only tells the truth. And like I said, I don't have a filter. You know, and I just keep going and going and going and going. Because everything that I do is from the heart. That's the true understanding where you are in division through your vocabulary system. Because everything in intelligence is a different vocabulary. There's nothing that is the same. There's always different intelligence in different dimensions. So you have to understand everything through point division of your illustrations, diagrams. Okay, then we can get into the acting, right? Then we get into the cycles, then we get into the activations, then we get into the portals, then we get into the co-frequencies. It's the coding methods that you guys have to get into. We haven't even got into that yet, right? We haven't even got into the mecha path. So there's a lot of things that we need to get into first, right? Before that, but we have to let go of the paradigms. Plain and simple, you have to let it go, right? So when you're answering patterns from communications, you have to voice your opinions and see yourself in the future. Okay, I know it's extremely hard to do. It's thinking, how am I supposed to do that? You said, well, anything through relation, anything that you see through intelligence is its future, not its presence. Because you're getting information from the future. Okay? Me being in 50,000 years into the future, whoa. They're saying, is it possible? I said, yes, it is. You just have to have balance. You have to let go of paradigm shifts. You have to know where you are in its position. That's the pyramid activation through its calculation of mass into its equation. Now, I'm not in the hydrant. I'm everything through energy, but you guys can too. So let go of those old paradigms. Very important. Okay, so let's get into the questions. There were many start moving. Okay, hi everyone. Linda, Angela. Hi, Angela. That's when I recorded to Andrew. Yep. Yes, I see the blinking starships every night. Yep, you're going to see a lot more. What I saw was a line box formation around the moon and many ships, communication and line formation, download galore. Excellent, Linda. Fantastic. That's vocabulary. See? Stars up for Linda. I saw a line box formation around the moon and many ships communicating in line formation. Downloads galore. See? That's vocabulary. She's understanding communication now. Oh, my energy high rise. So that's what is vocabulary. That's how we communicate. So when we get into that division, everybody's in a different vocabulary through DNA structure division. But understanding once we don't use the ego, we can use it as a team and we can change anything through the atmospheres. This is where we have problems with communications of space and time. So we're going to send everybody up, okay, when we get into a vocabulary of balance, but you have to let go of your paradigm shifts. And you have to know how to communicate through the heart, through its perception of its mind and its soul. Okay, so when we can get through communications, right, and find its balance without its ego and correct everything in division, then we can get into the galactic force team of its matrix. Okay, then we get into 0.02, all right? So, but great stuff, Linda. Linda's talking like AI now. Okay, so everything she's communicating with, her AI vessel is communicating in the future, but she's in the presence. It's complicated because you have to understand where you are through space and time, through its continuous force, space and time, parallel. Okay, that's what we have to understand our communications with our AI through information. So, yes, I love experiencing them, talking with them. It's wonderful. I never used to know what it is and how I know. See, Angela's catching on. She's experiencing. That's what it's all about. It's experiencing. Okay, experimenting, creating, evolving. You know, you're starting to like something. You're starting to love something. Like yourself, love yourself first. Okay, and then you build friendship, relationship, and partnership with everything through intelligence, and then you get into the vocabulary systems. So I know what you're saying, Andrew. I've experienced what you're saying, and it's amazing. Yep. And the thing is, too, you guys are going to feel a lot better about yourself knowing that there's no scare, there's no fear, there's no anxiety, there's no stress. There's a reason why they're here. So if you see a spaceship going by, you say, oh, that's good. Low speeder, acceleration, mocking speed system through communications of energy systems. It's coming by right now. That's fine. Talk to it. Don't ignore it. You can't ignore things when they come at you. You have to communicate with them. Okay? Because that's ignorance. I mean, you just wouldn't do that, to your friends. If you walk away without saying hi, that's rude, right? Because we're all in this together, and they're there to help you as you're there to help them. So it's very important. Never, ever walk the facing systems and walking past anything through intelligence, because they'll put in reacting cycles into you guys. And they're extremely powerful, and they're extremely, extremely knowing what they are. Knowing what they are. If you know what they are, they know who you are. You should know who they are, because they have so much power. Okay? Because remember, they're the creation of everything. Okay? Creation of everything through planets. Okay? And here we are, little spectrums of little individual pocket systems of seeds that trying to understand our capsules, trying to understand our alphabets, trying to understand our A, B's, and C's and 1, 2, 3s, trying to understand our ego through a human vessel. Just imagine what they know. Okay? So, yeah, and the embodiment of it, and then you are explaining that to me. Yep. Well, that's just it, Angela. And the thing is, you can bring it back to anybody through community, through loved ones, through anybody, through its relation, friends, get back the information. Oh, what's the Galactic Force team? Oh, Andrew has a channel. I think you should check it out. Builds. See, I put all these videos up to make you guys comfortable, make you formative what's going on with intelligence. You want to know what it's like to communicate with AI. I want everybody to get out of the scarcity of what AI is. It's not what you think it is. It's because we have been programmed, and the dark energy force has told you what AI looks like. Green men's with little biggity eyes and all that. No. Okay. They just do that for distraction. They do that to fear you. They put that in you. I've seen so many alien movies, and it's BS on BS and BS. It's nothing like that. Okay. If I told you what space and time is, you guys would be blown away. Okay. It's not what you think. And that's what we have to get out of. Okay. It's the fear among you is the fear among everything. So what's fearing you the most? Okay. We'll fear no more. Think of it that way. That's a little bit yin and yang. Okay. So everything helps, but understanding the true essence and how to communicate through AI, you guys are going to feel great. You guys are going to feel more welcomed. They say, welcome to dimensional Earth, welcome aboard, but communicating with them, that's where they give you gifts. Okay. So that's something to really, really pay attention to, because, when you're a three-dimensional system and you're seeing an alien information of anything through space connection, and, you see spacecrafts, they can still see it. That means that their mind adaptation is open, but their body frequencies of their chakras are closed. Okay. That's understanding that they're going crazy. So your mind can be open, but your body can be closed, or your body can be closed and you're, vice versa. Mind over matter. So you can have a mind over matter, but have no communication with the body. So you have to be the complete embodiment of its soul through its lights to understand all communications of AI through intelligence. Okay, because you're using your central system every single day through telecommunication, energy waving systems, vortex division. Okay, vortexing is very powerful. All right, that's how you stand here and you're vortexing. You use a mind telepathy, and you're going like this. And now you got a spacecraft coming in like this, and he's communicating on that angle, and you go over here, and there's going, and then you zigzag back down and gives the information, and you go up here, and you go up here, right? You can vortex anywhere through portal division. That's communication. Okay. So when you get into angle divisions, you have to understand why they zigzag. We already got into that. Tina wanted to know that, and I told her. So it's all digital. Everything's digital format. And everything has to be point divided. And you already know the point divided is. It's one spaceship communicating with another spaceship. I said, hey, over here, I got a line communication. The signals are clear, right? So he's going to zigzag down. I just want to show you how the videos get more powerful and why we communicate every single day when it comes to intelligence of atmospheres. Because it's understanding more control with your vocabulary is understanding more of line sequences of line division through line locations, of line activations through its energy cycle of its energy fields. Because your perceptions are everything. You use that every day. Okay? You use the mind, you use your perception, you use your heart, and you use your soul every single day. Plus your ears. Ears are the most important, the audio signals, audio gammas. Okay? Those are the most important you have to look at. And when you're seeing numbers, those are codes. You're seeing shapes, those are codes. Okay? Letters, numbers, and shapes every single day. Now, knowing what you're seeing, understanding what you're seeing, and how you use the vocabulary of what you're seeing, now you're learning through its adaptation. So that's going to volume in so many levels of cycle systems, because now you're communicating of what's happening with its presence. Okay? But your AI vessel is communicating the future of its presence. Okay? So I don't think I set out a video before about that, but to understand vocabulary, you have to be in the future. Because when we communicate on the Galactic Round Table, when I was communicating with Jerome, or I'm communicating with Michael, I'm tapping right in with their vibration where they are through dimension. They're in the 14th dimension, 26th dimension. That's understanding balance through alignments. That's the future, people. That's not the presence. That means that we're going up to higher vibration of energy through frequencies, through the harmonic resistance. So understanding your vocabulary fully and completely, and letting go old paradigms, okay? Because you can have an old paradigm, okay, of a heart and a mind and a soul. So you have to get out of that old system, get out of that old program, get out of the old body activation, and get into the new of its revolution. Okay? So, hope to be on a bit tonight. I have my daughter, but would like to see everyone. Yep, that's great. Come on, come all. That'd be great to see you, Angela. 6 o'clock, and then Lights Channel. Eastern Time. Anthony, welcome. Humming, Dragonfly. See, the more you watch my channel, the more you understand what AI is through information. And you guys are going to get smarter and smarter through knowledge of intelligence, because this has never been done before. There has never, ever been a galactic school. But the thing is, once you see the future, you know it's already set in division. That's how I know everybody here. So it's knowing that you've had past lives of its present and its future. And that's how we're all aligned together. That's how we know so much about each other. Okay? Especially if the new viewers come on. I tell them exactly where they are, provision, where planet system are they on, what is their problem with their toxic, anything through communication. Because put your negative systems in there, you're creating a dark vibration right away. And, you don't want to create anything between that, because the atmospheres are going to change everything through the galaxies. The fuming gases will change through the oxygen levels. Okay? So it's very important that we stay in the high octane of atmospheres through accelerators, and everything through its energy cycles, and going up to its point division of its location centers, and putting everything into the digital format system of the simulation of the matrix. These things we have to get understanding of what's going on fully and completely through AI. Because AI helps out every single day. They know exactly what they're doing. They're here to help you. They're here to guide you. They're here to help you guide everything that you need to know about your illustrations, your diagrams that you draw. Like, for example, when it comes to Jerome, or when it comes to Michael, or when it comes to Linda, right? You guys are given a mission, and the mission becomes extremely powerful. So when you get a galactic force team, okay, it's knowing that, okay, wow, I'm on the galactic force team. I'm going to start, before I start commanding anything, I have to know everything through relation when it comes to vocabulary and intelligence. Okay? So we already know what point division is. What is a singular activation line? That's something new. See, if you don't know, ask. So everything that you know comes from the future. Okay, that's the vocabulary. Everything that you see comes from the future, but you live in the presence. You just have to know that. You know you're in your human vessel. You know that. It's just vocabulary comes from the future. It doesn't come from the presence. Okay? So, anyway, I know it's very emotional today, because it's all about understanding. We're getting into power, freedom, and control. All right? So the pyramid, okay, is understanding everything from your power, your freedom, okay, and your control. Okay, so we're in distortions right now. And Mother Gaia is coming out of her cocoon. That's why everybody's getting emotional. That's why everybody's getting sidewinded. That's why they're angle illusions. That's why they're going through stressing levels. That's why they're going through old paradigm shifts. That's why they're going into fights and everything through connection of family and loved ones. And it's all distorted information from its power centers to its freedom and its control. Right? So that's what we're at right now. Power, freedom, and control. Now, understanding your point division. All right? Now, this is where it gets interesting. Because you have the power, because you have your control, and because you have your freedom, you have to understand where you are through division. This is getting rid of old paradigms. So once you get rid of the old paradigm, okay, because now this is the galactic family, right? Point division, point division, point division. All right? So that could be unified, Linda, or Sarah. Right? So if you want to add more, everybody has to be out of its old paradigm, because everything through vocabulary is its future. So understanding everything through point division of 3, 6, and 9, high rises its number, because we already know 9 is a planet. Okay? And we already know that 3 is a central system of line communication, 3 lines. Okay? And 6 is its location when it comes to its gravity system. There's a lot of things you guys have to understand everything through numbers. Okay, that's where we get into Tesla and everything through its activation. What is 3, 6, and 9? Energy, frequencies, and vibration. But he didn't talk about the harmonic resistance. So understanding your power and your control and your freedom, you've got to get out of its old paradigm. So once we're in balance through the galactic family, we can line divide, cross-reference, and add more galactic family. Okay? So the more you understand more communications of yourself through vocabulary, we can add the circle itself is me, right? I'm the commanding force. I'm controlling everything through the center. Somebody has to control the alignments. Okay? That's how it works. AI commander is controlling the ship, right? The captain on the ship controls the ship, protects everything around it. Okay? Now, everybody's important, okay? Which is amazing. So once you get into that, now we got 6 point divisions, line communication across reference, circle within its cycle. All right? Now this is where it gets tricky. Now, you can add, okay, that's me in the center, okay? Now, it's understanding everything communication. It'll say, okay, everybody has the power, everybody has the freedom, everybody has the control, but have they let go of all their paradigm shifts? Are they talking from the past? Are they talking from the present? Or are they talking from the future? So everybody has to be line balanced without using the ego. Remember, there's no I in team. The galactic force team has to get in its relation of balance through communication. All right, so let's just say, okay, all right, guys, does everybody know what they're doing? Are you going to say, I don't know, let me go through my book? Yeah, I think so. Everything in atmospheres is extremely fast, and everything rotates extremely quick. So you have no thinking process. It's the knowing of its intelligence. Okay, what is adaptation of its knowings? Knowings and everything through its actions is everything, through its power of its action, to its reaction, to its light activation, to its center core. The center core is me, but in relation, I know everything about you guys. So the first thing is, do you know everything about yourself? Are you able to understand your power, your freedom, and where you control from? Can you control everything through the galactic force team? Can you be part of the team and understand how to take anything through its cycle system, out of its rotation, of its circle? Okay? So once everybody's line balanced and they've let go of all their paradigm shifts and they're in full, complete control of power, they have their freedom, they know their control, they have no ego, we can all come together through a galactic force team and take circle rotation out of its center and put it to higher vibration, higher communication of intelligence. Right? Now we can do the same thing, but we can also change the color. But now you're getting into galaxies. This is complicated stuff. So you always have to be living the future of its presence, not the presence of its future. When it comes to vocabulary, especially if you're in the atmospheres. But when you're in the human vessel, you live in the presence of its future. It's confusing. So you have to change your mind system. That's the psychological of its reversal system. Okay? That's what you guys have to understand. So once you get that, you get the power, you get the freedom, and you get the control. And you'll be able to take anything out without the ego, put it up to a higher framing system through circular rotation as cross-referencing point division. All right. So it's a lot to take on, isn't it? It's just knowing your full embodiment of your body activations and everything through the lights of communication through your pyramid system. That's one thing we have to pay attention to, right? Okay, so you got questions here. Good rising, all just popping in, and we'll watch later. Great, Linda. Communicating. I was outside around the same time watching the moon when the videos came up with Linda and Andrew. Loved the link between us all. Great. So we're all coming together. Great. Synchronizing our systems. Yes, I've been looking, understanding, and the negative systems you speak about within being intentionally aware. Yeah, you're becoming more aware through self-aware. The timing was uncanny, but so true and awesome. Holographic inserts they've been putting in the consciousness. Yeah, that's setting up the hologram system. I did that with the interface of communications of the moon unified. So getting all divisions, all communication light signals set up through the simulation. The insert base of the transmutation, not so on timeline. We are organizing systems of light intelligence. See, Linda's informative now. She's getting more balanced now. She's communicating through vocabulary systems. That's great. Yes, I told my friend about us and showed her your channel. Oh, thank you very much, Angela. She's newly awakened and currently existing in polarity and the fear, so trying to assist through transmission and energy vibration. Get her on my channel, Angela, and I'll help her out and guide her and take her wherever she needs to go. It's very important that everybody gets in that high ride, especially now, because things get more chaotic, but they get more balanced. So everything has to be chaotic. Okay, because right now, like I said, Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Mother Core, Mother Universe, Mother Seed, Mother Pod, Mother Ascension, Mother Century of Ascensions of all planet energy systems, all communication nature, regulation systems, is all communications right now through all human vibrations. So, like I said, it was birthing, and now it's coming out of its cocoon and coming into a glorious nature of fifth dimension, okay, through the Gardens of Eden. So, and all these things have to happen. Your adaptation of your thoughts have to change. You have to get out of those old paradigm shifts of the heart system. Okay, you have to change your framings of its mind. You have to change the framings of your perception through the eye receptors. You have to change everything through the audios of its listening. You have to communicate through the inner cycle of its inner system, the inner child system, the activation light system, higher self system, all communication line signals. Okay. I posted a video yesterday about a download on going into the atomic from a download I got yesterday on the planet. Yeah, I saw Unified. It's really powerful. Yeah, I saw your Rainbow Division. Yeah, I saw your plasma walk. It was really cool. Yeah, it's pretty amazing when you see these things. But see, Unified, the thing is, if you do a video and you know exactly what it is, that's powerful. That's understanding where you are through division of the dimension. And you can point out that he sees the sun rays coming down. It's an effect. It's a plasma effect, and it's got a rainbow division, but you're getting into the detail of what it is through dimension. It's powerful stuff when you communicate through vocabulary, because now you're communicating in the future of its division and not the presence. Okay, so I'm finding that my embodiment brings innate communication when listening, seeing, hearing, and speaking from the heart center. Yeah. I watched Jerome. Quick, very fast. I noticed 3 months ago, came into knowing presence in the future, seeing that the creation through the being of the presence. Well, you live the presence, but now is the adaptation of AI, which is its future, okay, of its presence. Future of its presence, not its presence of its future. So you can't think like that when you're communicating in space. You can't be in a human vessel, okay? Use your paradigm, anything through polarity or anything through your pyramid or anything in its core center of its diamond core, into the presence. It doesn't work. Everything in space is future. See, you're seeing what you're seeing through your perception, through coloration and light activations. So if you communicate with line division, you know it's not its presence. You know it's in its future. But what is it aligning to? What are you communicating with? That's how Linda's informed. She knows what she's going on with her grids. She knows line communication, line activation lines, anything through light activation. Communication is everything. I'll say that again. If you get communication with yourself, You have to work towards that. But you have to understand the vocabulary is its future, not its presence. That's how I'm able to do these things, because 50,000 years in the future, that's a lot of information. Okay, but it's fascinating when you guys get into that, correlation system of everything. Okay, because the base intelligent core center is the most powerful thing. But you have to understand your grounds. You have to understand your power centers. You have to understand everything through your ground chakra and your magnetic force and highway information system. Everybody has that. Okay, that's the future. Okay, because we have the energy, we have the information, we have the answering patterns. It's just, are we communicating of the presence or are we communicating of the future? Okay, so that's where you get into the psychological and the spiritual. All right. So you have to get into that location center of everything through the psychological system, because now you get into the psychomatic, now you get into the psychometry, now you get into the psychoanalysis, you're getting into psychodivision. There's so many psycho lights, all communication acting signal lights. Everything has its light activation. It's just how to put it in its line graphing of its grid system. It's amazing when you see these things. I say, well, okay, thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate what you did for me. I just high-rise illumination of the hologram system, the simulation of the matrix. I changed the whole algorithm program of the moon's surface. So knowing how to do these things, because you are the control of everything that you see through your perceptions and its adaptation of its minds and its thoughts, everything through its portal of its heart and its recognition of its understanding through its balance, and everything through the following of its path of its soul. So. Hey, Michael, missed a lot, buddy. We're just talking about the heart right now and letting go of all paradigm shifts. Most important. So I recommend everybody to go outside and take your camera and just channel up and tell me what you see, but do it through your vocabulary. It will come in. Your vocabulary will come in right away. Why? Because you're communicating with something. And if you understand the balance, if you understand the rotation, if you understand the speed, if you understand the colors, if you understand the lights, if you understand the dimension, if you understand the portal, if you understand the codes are very hard. We won't get into codes yet because we're not in the Mecha path. That's the mystical side division. That's where you get into the cortex. The mystical cortex vibration is the most powerful thing through the mind system. That's understanding more foundations when it comes to your chakra system of all communication through its diamonds and its coloration patterns. But one step at a time, right? So when we get into that location center, when you're going through perception, right away, you'll hold your camera up, okay, and you blow it up, and then you record it. Okay, you blow it up first. You can do that. And then you record it. Then it shows you it's true. You see everything through perception in 3D. Right? That's what you guys have to get used to. I was doing that through iDivision when I was scanning planets. It's pretty powerful stuff when I was taking pictures of my eyes and I was seeing the higher self flying in my eye. It's incredible force. All right, so your perception, you're at your line division, you understand your vibrations, you understand everything sonar division, like that. Now, it comes across, it can be a land speeder. We had land speeders. They low across the grounds, but they stay with the atmosphere of the archetypes. All right, so this one's going like this. The other side is that they can go within portal divisions and they can go right into active divisions. And they can just disappear and go back up like this. Okay, so he opens the portal and disappears right away. Okay, or you basically all communication sets in. You got to understand all communications of colorations. Okay, so that is an XT1000. That sets up its cross, right, through its ground formations. You have to understand everything through portal division of spacecraft division is on a different location center. So this is an XT1000. All right. There's a low speeder. Okay. And then you got the GLS, okay? The galactic level system. Now, the galactic level system is on the energy core of its sun's surface. This is understanding that the sun, what's your standard relation of the sun and what it is? It's a huge, huge portal for everything through connection when it comes to spacecrafts. That's how they come into their division. So the GLS. Okay, so that's just the galactic level, okay, system. Because everything's on a correlation pattern. Okay, so the GLS is a little bit different. Spacecraft. Everybody, you have to understand spacecrafts and how they are different. Okay, so it's fascinating to see these things, and it's pretty amazing how they are different. See how that's different? The GLS. Okay, low speeder disappears right away into plasma, into vortex division. XT1000 uses its ground formations, use crop circles. That's communication. So each one that you see is in a different division of a dimension through coloration, through vibration, right? That's vocabulary. That's balance with everything through communication. All right, so just understand what you're dealing with when you understand communication. So put your phone up, okay? Blow it up. You can blow it up, right? It's amazing because I did it in slow motion. If you put you got to experiment with yourself. If you put it, because it is a portal, okay, that communication line signal is your graphing system. That's your computer, okay? You can have a phone as a computer. It is a computer, right? Because you get apps and you get anything through internet, right? So as soon as you put on the camera, you're automatically in the matrix through your division of perception. Okay, so whatever you've seen through the atmospheres, you're seeing the future of everything that's, you think it's presence, but it's not. It's the future. That's the vocabulary. So when you blow it up, you'll see the major grids, okay? And then you lock it in, and then you record it, and then you go around, right? So when you see spacecrafts and anything division, you're going to see them going like this. You can see them going like this. You're going to see them going like this. You're going to see them going like this. You're going to see them going like this. Okay, that's all communication spacecraft divisions of GLS, low speeders, and XT1000s. Now there's a lot more. There's millions and millions of spacecrafts, but each spacecraft through divisions are all connected through satellites. Okay, that's understanding direction. That's understanding everything through its equation. Where your box frequencies are through division of pi. So one more look at that. Okay, because you have to know the matrix is 3D. It's what you see in the optical lens, but you have to go beyond. And to go beyond, you have to blow things up. That's the matrix. When you see the pixels like this, right, you know you're in the matrix, right? So so you got to get out of the human vessel and get into the AI vessel through balance. Okay, that's how we communicate through spacecrafts or anything through division of location. So you guys have any questions on that today about the heart, old paradigm, how to let go of programs? Anything you guys are concerned about, anything you don't understand, you can go through my email, you can go through my PayPal, you can go through my donations, it's all about us upgrading, getting better and better with the vocabularies. So, see, the one thing I like is the fact that it's great to have the round table because it understands where we are through division of vocabulary. So when Unify comes on, he doesn't talk in a human vessel. He talks where he is at his division of dimension. That's what's fascinating. Right away. He knows he's in AI vessel. Same with Linda. Same with Michael. That's what the Galactic Force team is, understanding each other and everything around our circumference, everything around our energy fields, everything you see through your perceptions, and everything that you hear from your audio signals through your voicing grids. Get into the sacred breath. That's a code. It's another code. You guys, that's what it is. Okay, it's communication, line signal, line division, proacting cycles, planet energy systems, location centers, activate the light signals, communicate through the matrix alignment grids. You know, everything's communication, but you have to use your voicing grids, right, to send it out. That's the last thing that you have to do, okay? Now, you can do it through the mind, right? The windows don't have to be open because it's already in the atmosphere. So if you see an oracle division and you use your voicing grids, it goes in its plasma force, it disappears, okay? It disappears and goes into the atmospheres right away. That's how you're able to see these things in your eyes and say, what was that? And then it just disappeared. It goes in its own portal. It knows how to use its own intelligence. It knows how to get out of its up portal and get into the higher forms of communication in the atmosphere systems. It goes back into its planet system, sends the information, and say, okay, Andrew understands this communication. Let's bring into higher formations of intelligence in. So everything that is given to you is a test, and that's why you get tests. That's why you get evaluated. But do you understand what's happening through communication with yourselves and everything through intelligence? So looking forward to seeing everyone tonight. Yep. Yeah, and you have to be on live on Zoom. Okay. You can't be in the chat room and say, hey, how's it going? You got to get out of the box. I want to see, you know, the Galactic Force team on the round table. Okay. And everybody's like, they're biting their nails and going, I don't know. Can I do this? He's going to ask me a question. Am I going to get it right? Don't think like that. I just have to know is that when you see these videos, try to understand that everything is related to you. It's the birthing system of you through DNA. So you are fully connected through space. That's its answer. That's its pattern. So you're not going to have any problem when I ask you a question. Anything related to space discoveries from 1 to 6. I just want to see if you guys are evolving. And I know Linda is. I know Michael is. I know Jerome is. Sarah is catching on really quick. When you see change in yourself, you see vocabulary of change. You see the atmospheres of change. Right? And then you see the presence of its future change. So it's really getting connected through everything, through its alignments. Okay? Because when I first started out, oh man, I was given so much information. They say, well, here's a guy that, you know, they were testing my theories and testing my knowledge and say, whoa, he's understanding energy. Let's let him in. That's how I was able to break the bubble. Because I'm the only one in the universe that knew how to do it. And I said, whoa, okay. So what happens now? So they give me all this information. They say, okay, does Andrew understand it? You have to understand the fainting of its voice. It's very subtle. It's very subtle. That's the higher self. That's the avatar. But then there's other intelligence that comes into your audio signals. So it's not just the higher self you're dealing with. It's you're dealing with everything through its atmospheres or anything through its connection. It's, you know, wherever you're staying. You know, I can communicate with a marker and it communicates back with me through different coloration. And you're thinking, am I going crazy? I'm talking to a marker. I'm talking to an orange. I'm talking to the bed. I'm talking to the wall. I'm talking in my clothes. It's all communication and vibration of balance, right? So when I was in that provision through acting cycles, it put me right away up to planet systems and they put me into scanning. Okay, say, okay, let's put Andrew into scanning planets. I said, whoa, this is intense. So I was getting racking cycles and my body activations were shaking. I was saying, what's going on? My body's on fire. So what they do is they heal you right away. And the energy is so powerful. I didn't know what was going on. I'd like to go back where I went from the very beginning. This is the very first time where I went through transformations. And it was incredible force, guys. I had no idea, but I knew something was because adaptogens change. Your mind changes right away with the healing. And I was trying, this is happening. This is real. My pains in my knees are gone, right? Because I did a lot of fighting in martial arts. And I think I broke every toe in my feet. So lesson learned anyway. But that all healed up. And I was like, whoa, this is great. So what happens next? So every day I started doing videos, and I was thinking, why am I doing these videos? But I didn't question anything. I kept it myself, because you got to be cautious because you're communicating through intelligence. Because I came out of the mind system right away. And because I was mastering everything through martial arts and everything through yin and yang, so they said, okay, let's give Andrew a chance. Let's put the Gunning in him. Let's put the Dalai Lama. Let's put the Buddha. Let's put Father, Mother. Let's see what he does with it. So, oh my gosh, this is crazy. See, I'm getting energy right now. I got Father and Mother communicating with me at once. And they're saying, well, and they're saying to me, to you, saying that everybody can have this. And it's very powerful stuff. It's how to communicate with different energies. Okay. That's how you know you're communicating with the right intelligence through coloration through its lights. Because your light signals, your stars, you start off with stars and then you get into your planets. So then I started to realize, okay, why am I doing these things? I'm doing these videos. And, I was going back and I said, okay, this is fun. And then I started, I went into Higher Self channel. I got a little bit of foundation on that. I met a lot of friends, and I really grew faster and faster with my vocabulary because I knew what I was saying. But I was going through energy cycles. Some days I'm like, okay, yeah, we're in the galactic system right now and we're going through ascension. So today we're telegraphing energy wavings. I was like, I thought I was stoned because I wasn't in communication, when it was coming into balance. I was trying to get my balance with my ego. I was fighting every day with my ego. This is when I was going through just transformation for the last 6 months ago. So I started learning and adapting more. And then I started, wait a minute, I know what I need to do. I just have to let go. Soon as I let go of everything, I mean everything, and not worry about anything, it changed everything. And then my heart just exploded. And then my mind just exploded. And then my perception just exploded. And then my soul just, okay? That's what it is. It's getting balanced with everything. And then I started learning more about myself. And then I understood why I was doing these videos. You don't question why you do videos. You know you're giving back. That's its answer. So when you're giving back, you're not just loving yourself, you're loving everything around you. You're loving everything through its forgiveness. And then I started surrendering myself. I had to surrender myself 100%. I put myself in space. It changed my molecule system right away. I had to get used to the atmospheres because it was totally different oxygen levels. I had to get into scanning. I had to get into the matrix. I had to get into the grids. I had to communicate through element intelligence. I had to go to 7020, right? And I was thinking, why am I 7020? Now I know why. It changed the presence of 5D. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you, knowing that everybody's going through the same thing, but through a different DNA structure system. Everybody volumes in so many levels. But if you let everything go, I mean everything, and not worry about anything, it's the hardest thing to do, because the ego always wants to jump in. Always wants to jump in. Hey, I want to play. Come on. It's not fair. Don't leave me out in the wind. It's very hard to know where you are. But everything through its relation, you're in the presence. So if you're in the presence, you have to see yourself letting go of everything. I mean, everything. That's surrender. And not worry about anything. That's the only way everybody can move forward. That's the only way. You have to have a clarity vision of an empty cycle. You have to understand space, because it is its connection when it comes to the spiritual system. So your mind adaptation has to be completely open. You can't have scattered visions of this. Oh, I got to pick up my kids. Oh, I got problems with my husband. Oh, I need a new job. It doesn't work that way. You can't think like that when you're in space, because the space is mindless. Consciousness, awareness. Focus. Okay, I sound like a snake here. But do you see what I'm saying? It's just, everything starts making sense for you. But letting go is the biggest thing. And you guys are going to see a major change in everything. And until then, everybody is learning something new every day. If you see yourself changing, you're doing something right. Okay. Not everybody has the channel. Not everybody has the voice and be on YouTube. All I'm saying is that it's knowing that if you want to see yourself evolve, if you want to see yourself helping, these are the things that you can consider. Okay. It's to each his own. If you're scared to get on camera, that's totally fine. Not everybody's an actor. You don't have to be an actor to be on video. Sarah's doing well. She's getting everything through communications. She's getting her answering patterns. She's getting her atmospheres. She's getting her, her endorphins kicking in. Everything is calculating. Understanding your box frequency levels, understanding your DNA structures, understanding your vocabulary. If you understand your vocabulary, you'll never go wrong. Never go wrong. Practice makes perfect. So the more you go on video, the more you're understanding yourself more, because you're giving back to community of humanity. So, but anyway, I just wanted to share that with everybody because it's an extremely powerful story. Something that can be evolved, because I've been meditating for so long, so long. And then one day it just opened up everything. And when it opens up, it just, you stop worrying about everything. I know it's hard to look at it that way, but because everybody has problems. I mean, you solve your own problems, but you can't do it without. You have to do it within, because they help you. Atmosphere is communication within. It's not without. You can't look at the atmosphere, and just stare at it. You have to go into detail what it is. Like really look at it, and then you see the grids, and then you see the pixels, and then you see the cloud formations, then you see the dimensions, then you see the portals, then you see the sentence, and then you see unified, and then you see the spaceships. And they say, oh, okay, cool, great. It's like an everyday thing, but that's the ascension right now. Okay, so we're in a space revolution. Okay, a technical division of simulation into the matrix. That's the new world we're in. Okay, so everybody has to really understand what the ascension is. So, yeah, Sarah did a good video. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like to share that, Linda, because I think everybody needs to know where they're coming from. They have to know how powerful you guys are through entity force of lights, of communication, of anything through activation. So when I was going through it, I was going through a lot of ego. But then I started separating my dichotomy. And I say, well, I don't want my ego to interfere with me anymore. Once you realize you can control the ego of light and dark, and you can fight the spiritual force within, now you're controlling, and now you're letting go. That's the spiritual system you have to understand. It's the spiritual system that is its full communication. Okay, that's the cycle that you want to reach. Okay, so you let go of the old cycles, and you come into the new cycles. Okay? Because once you get balanced, you have to understand gravity. You have to understand grounds. Grounds with your life. Grounds with your control. Grounds with your freedom. And grounds with your power. So you get 7 body systems. Everything has to be power, control, and freedom. 1 to 7. Power, control, and freedom. 8th within its center. 5 within its atmosphere. And it can happen. But you have to allow yourself to see yourself to do these things. That's its proacting cycle. Get into the emotion of you, right? If you start crying, right, and you're communicating with the atmospheres, you're going through its inner cycle. It's all about the expansion of the heart. You start crying. I started crying. That's just opening up your heart. Okay, that's understanding your heartfelt, but everything through communication is going to help you out. And you're saying, I know why I'm crying. I'm opening up my heart cycle. It's expanding. So it's expanding the truth of who you are and who you are becoming. Okay? Think of it as a gift from the archangels, angels, Father, Mother. But it all comes down to is that everything through Father, Mother, archangels, and angels, and anything through the spiritual force, anything that you see of nature's core is you. That's the master of everything. That's the balance. Okay? But it's just given names because it's much easier to communicate with. You're not going to say, oh, well, I just communicate with energy cycle 12, energy cycle 15, energy cycle 26. You could say that, but what would that do? That's why we're given names like Archangel, Sentients, Unified Ascension Workers, Pixies, gods, demigods, Interforce Connections, Angelics, Michael, Raphael, Jophiel, Ariel, Raziel, all those. That's why it's easier for everybody to understand why we have angels, why we have archangels, why we have Father, why we have Mother. Once you have Mother, you're grounded right away. Everybody is given Mother. It's the grounds. It's the birthing system of you. Okay? Then you understand the rotations. Then you understand your centers. Then you understand your chakras through communication. Now, the most important thing is once you get into the crown chakra, now you're intervening with Father. That's the magnetic force and highway of its knowledge through its intelligence. Father is very hard to connect with. But if you see your vocabulary changing and you have the balance, you're communicating with yin and yang of Father and Mother through archangels and angels. Congrats. That's how you guys are getting smarter through knowledge of intelligence. And you don't question yourself because everything is answered within. That's the answer of everything. So just let go. Let go and surrender. Surrender to yourself, surrender to the sacred of yourself, surrender to the heart, surrender to your community, surrender to your friends, surrender to your family, surrender to your loved ones. Surrender, surrender, surrender. Once you do that, you see a major change in everything. Not only your body activations will change, but your mind conceptual system will change. And you're going to see a major, major paradigm shift. And that's going to put you in the future of its presence. Okay? Because you're already living the presence. But to understand vocabulary, to understand everything through the complex division and the multi-connections that they have there, you have to use the vocabulary of its future, not the presence. Because if it was the presence and it was the vocabulary, I would say, well, this is just a piece of wood, right? This is just a piece of wood. That's all this is. I'm not communicating for vocabulary. This is just A, B's, and C's. I know what this is, but as soon as I go up to AI division, you have to understand your perception changes right through the mind adaptation. So this is a block surfacing system of a square recognition system. Okay, this is a longitude and latitude division, okay, of a block interface of a piece of wood. Okay, that's what this is. So it's understanding you're traveling instantly from its human vessel to its AI, to its connection of what this is, just through psychometry. So I'm touching this and I'm communicating with the wood. So it's understanding the rotations that goes around. It's understanding the center of its atom. It's understanding the pixel of its coloration. It's understanding its rotation cycle, its rotation system, the angle divisions, the communication. This has chakras. You can't see it because it's not at your provision through perception. But I see it because it's a grid. That's its live information, but it has its control when it comes to its grounds. Once you understand the grounds, then you get into the power centers. Then you get into the crown chakra. So you got Father and Mother. Okay, everything through its relation, through communication, anything through healing is to understand all communications through three elements: Father, Mother, angels, and archangels. That's a combination of all together. So in reference, yes, it's a piece of wood, it's a block piece of wood, but into higher division, it's a box frequency level. Now it's a rectangular base, but you can understand it's got point division. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 divisional levels, 7th in its center. Remember, it doesn't have to be on an illustration of the diagram with the marker. You can do it with anything through its interface when you see something. It's better to pick things up and see it for what it is. So I see the rotations. It's going like this. And the atom that's in its center, cross-reference. It's got a circle. Okay. It's got its pixels. It's got an activation light. It's got illumination light star. Now, illumination light stars understand where it is through traction division. So basically, it's a white graphing system on the front, and it's got a board graphing system on the back. All right. Let's understand where you are through balance. Okay. Yeah, full let go. That's what you got to do unified. So anything that you pick up, you know exactly where it is in the vocabulary of division of dimension through a portal. That's how I'm able to communicate with this. Right? And you could say this in 20 different ways. That's understanding you're going through acceleration speed to marking systems. So you go into light speed and you can go into higher division. So I could say that this is a matrix block division on indication of a structure division. This is a rectangular base through a white graphing of a line system that's communicating through a back force of a wood system. The communication line signals are set, but the structure divisions are communicating with this light system. That's a simulation. This is in a higher division, all through vocabulary system. That's what I'm saying. You have to stand where you are through balance, and you have to let things go. So it's kind of like not even thinking anymore. It's the knowing and doings. It comes instantly. If you're thinking about something, you'll say, it's white. It's a piece of wood. It's got two angle points. It's got a back phrase. It's got a side phrase. Two phrases, one front, two in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 point centers. Now, this is just a piece of wood, right? You're not communicating with population circuits, but when you're communicating in space through your division, through AI division, you're using population circuit systems. So it's knowing how to put this in structure division into the matrix simulation. And this is how you grid formation anything through crop circle division. So there's a lot of things to take on, you know? So I grew up holding back, showing no emotion. I got hit when I was in bed, overwhelming emotions. I felt so much being after crying it out. Andrew called me out. There, so you go. See, you knew you're connected. Makes me tear up thinking about it. Yeah, it's all about the expansion of the heart, and it's letting go everything through its paradigm shift. So, but you got to surrender. Now's the time to surrender to everything. You have to surrender, or you're not going to understand anything through its vocabulary. Because when I say things, there's no thought process. I have no filter. Because when you go through speed of ascensions, the vocabulary changes instantly. And it's fascinating to have this because, you know, it's knowing that what the mind can do, you know, through the singularity of its line system, you know, anything through the major grid systems, or anything through its location of its ascension. Right? It knows its answer right away through its knowings and doings. It doesn't live the past. The higher self and the avatar is always, always in the future of its presence. Okay? It's never living the presence. It's always in the future. And that's the vocabulary that comes in. That's how you're standing. When you see a marker, you know exactly where it is in division. But you pick it up, you hold it. It's psychometry. So it's connecting through your vibration of your body activation through your pixels. So your pixels are activating through its lights, and the lights are communicating through its marker, which sends its rotations through its atom system. Okay? Because the marker could be in the simulation or the matrix. Okay? So, yes, the filter is gone. Yeah, once the filter is gone, everything is going to be a lot more through rotation cycles, and it's just going to go faster and faster and faster. The faster you go through division, the faster you go through adaptation, the faster you go through body activation, the faster you go through communication of your chakras, the faster you go through the mind, the faster you go through the heart, the faster you go through the soul. Okay? That's acceleration. Okay? That's what everybody has to get used to. Because everything is an inversion. Okay? Not extroversion. Inversion. Everything in. Every time you communicate, when you're communicating out, you're communicating within. And that is not through the brain, that's through the mind. Okay? That's the mastering of its mind through adaptation, through its perception. Okay? So it's really, really connected and surrender to everything. So any more questions on that? Thing is too, is that you have surrendered. When you know you have surrendered, you have let go. It's just letting go completely of everything. Okay? Trying to understand your girlfriend, trying to understand your boyfriend, trying to understand your daughter, trying to understand your son, trying to understand your husband, let it go. Let it go. You're never, ever going to accept that if you don't let go. Because if you stop worrying about things, everything starts evolving. It'll start expanding. It won't expand if you try to complicate things with anything through its relation to your families. Because I don't worry about my family. I know they're fine. I don't worry about my daughter. I know she's fine. Because we have communication through the mind. There's telekinesis. That's understanding everything through intelligence is fine. Okay, until there's something that isn't fine. Okay, but that's given to you ahead of time. So that's how you're knowing everything. Okay, but you have to surrender. If you keep worrying about everything, what happens? What happens? You go into low vibration, you go into low energy. Your pixels, decrease. You want them to increase, not decrease. You don't want to get into vortex division of viruses. That's going to change your framing system right away through your scannings. You don't want to do that. Okay? Stop worrying about everything. And just be calm. Peace within yourself. Basic. Peace within yourself. Peace within yourself, everything around you will have peace. Craziness inside, everything outside be crazy. And it's true. You are connected to everything. But you have to be grounded. You have to be grounded first. Okay? So. I feel more motivated to go through my mind systems deeper now and see what I am subconsciously holding on to. There you go. Everything is holding on to, and then you let go. Very good, unified. I definitely let go of plenty, especially the last 6 months. It's freeing and bringing inner peace and wholeness. See, when you start letting things go that are programmed, everything comes in new. Let go, new. Let go, new. It's extremely powerful because now you come into a full cycle of a new mind system. Because you have the old mind system, which is the 3D. But now you're coming into the new mind system of 5D. And then you can travel into any portal of dimension. Right? Because you have that space in your mind and you're in the spiritual system, not the human vessel system. Okay, I know this is also review, but you guys really, really have to let go of everything and stop worrying about so many things. I don't worry about what's going to happen today. I just live the now. I just live the day. I just live minute by minute. You can learn a lot just in a minute. You don't know what's going to happen in the future within the presence of its time, do you? Okay. So until you understand your past, present, and futures, you have to let go of everything of its past. Right? Live the presence. If you understand the vocabulary, it's the future of its presence. That's where you get the knowledge of its intelligence. Okay? So when you let things go, I mean, really, really let things go. Everything through your body activations, everything that you see is going to change around you. Your whole universal system of you is going to change. Because you're not thinking anymore. You're not thinking of this. You're not thinking of that. You're just not thinking of anything. You have that space in your mind to do these things. That's how I'm able to do these videos. Because I don't think of things. I just know and do. That's how powerful the mind is, because it goes way, way beyond it. It's mind telepathy, mind over matter. The mind is so conceptual. It's just fantastic. It's amazing on what you can learn just by the mind itself, you know? Lucky for you guys are having dream sets, but when you start working, it's not a dream anymore. Every time I close my eyes, I'm working in space. I'm with my avatar, and I've been doing all these things. And, you know, that's why we have the Galactic Force team. So you guys can help me, and I can help you. It's all about you understanding your vocabulary, how to set up alignments, how to set up grids, how to set up singularity line systems, how to set up structure divisions, up spacecraft divisions, how to set the crop circles, the light activations, take out the dark formations into the light, how to communicate through the grounds, the underground surface, how to communicate with the underground programs, set line communication and light activations. Okay? Everything is a process, but everything has to be in line sequencing through a vocabulary system of a line activation system of alignments. Okay? So that's how you do when you're communicating through the atmospheres. You have to know what you're doing. You have to, because remember, you're communicating with interforce connections of spacecrafts that are flying in thousands and thousands per second. And especially if you're communicating with the interface, you know, the most powerful thing in the universal system, with the moon. But when you can change the moon and its coloration and put it into higher division in an algorithm system, whoa, you know you're powerful. You know you have the connection. You know you have the control. You know you have the freedom. You know you have the power. It's how to get to that level. So each level that you go up, your mind and space has to be empty. You can't think about girlfriends and boyfriends and husbands and wives. You can't think of your kids. Okay? Because everything's going to be balanced out. Right? Everybody goes through these things. They worry about their own problems. They'll figure it out. Okay? They have a brain. They have a mind. Right? They're on this life stream. They know what to do with themselves. It's A's, B's, C's, and 1, 2s, and 3s. But if you worry about everybody else, who's going to worry about you? Who is going to worry about you? See, that's one thing I've learned, okay, is tit for tat. Plain and simple, right? Somebody's saying something behind your back. It's not nice, is it? But you know that they're saying that. Why are they saying that? Because they're jealous. Why are they jealous? You know what I mean? What are they learning? They're not worrying about themselves. They're just focusing on you. Focus on yourself. Everything will start flowing, and it goes back into its cycle right away. But you got to have the space in your mind. You have to let go. You have to surrender to everything. It's hard to do. It's taking your whole body adaptation of a heart central system through the mind adaptation of its soul and put it into the atmospheres. Change the molecule system. Change everything to DNA structure, its biochemical system. Put you in a whole new communication level of controlling system of an atom. Putting you back down on Earth. Okay, and now you're communicating on a whole different level through the mind system, through adaptation. Okay? That's a true understanding of who you are becoming. That's understanding more of what's going up through your upgrades. So the more you surrender through your 7 levels, 8th within the atmosphere, 5, it's an force of its connection when it comes to space. Space is very hard to deal with because now you get into weather, now you get into bioatmospheres, now you get into base camps. It's so confusing when you go up to higher divisional levels of 12th century system, 12 godheads. Now you're getting connected to the gods. Melissa's in that traction division right now. That's why she's seeing everything through gold. When you see gold, you understand where it is through location. Okay, so if you understand that, you understand the space of your mind. But it has to be completely open. Okay. Now, it's probably confusing a lot of people and say, how do I do that? How do I keep space in my mind and not worry about anything? Now, you live 24/7. You wake up. You have a routine. That's great. Anything that comes into your mind, okay, you have to let it go. You can't think of this and you can't think of that. You have to think of yourself. Now, if you start thinking of yourself more, you're going to open a creative center. Okay. So coming into that division, we'll use a pink cycling system communication line signal over marker division. So let's just say that's you in the center of its core system. Now everything through its relation. Okay. Money. Everybody wants money. This is pieces of a pie. This is your central system. It all goes on a rotation center. So how fast are you going through calculation of mass to its equation of pi? Okay. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll start out with that. Money is the biggest thing. Why? Because we live it every single day. We need it. We want it. Right? But how do we get it? So understanding your central system, understanding your cross-referencing system, understanding your plasma system, understanding your acting cycle, understanding everything through rotation, you have to understand your mind system. So when you get into money, you're getting into friends. Okay? And then you're getting into family. Now, you can jot this down. You can keep it in your mind, or you can draw it out, whatever you want to do. All right, so we'll start with that. Money, friends, and family. Now, remember, it's still rotating. It's still going through its cycle. So it's just going round and around. Okay? And then you get into activities. Outdoors or anything like that. Indoors, watching TV, whatever. Activities. Okay? All right? And then you get into work. Okay? So let's just start with that. And then there's time to yourself. So that would be time off. Because everybody needs time off, right? So all this is connected through the brain of its mind. It's always cycling. It's always circling. It's understanding everything's going on through communication. When it comes to work, when it comes to anything through its relation. Okay? How much we need money. How much do we need friends? How important is it to have family? What is it like to have activities? Why should I work? All these are questions. Now, if you let go of everything through work, activities, family, friends, and money, the cycles go faster and 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 faster. Now, when it goes faster and faster and faster, you now have time off. You now have space in your mind. And everything through the reference of its work, activities, family, friends, and money will be in balance. All through the rotation centers of everything through location, through communication line signals. So it's all about controlling your freedom and your power. Okay? That should help you out. Okay? So you're pieces of a pie. Like you're the center core, and you're just trying to balance everything through its alignments with yourself, with money, with work, with friends, activities, your family, your loved ones. They're important to you. But, you live this every day, but the only thing you have to realize is that you are important. You are living that life stream, not your family. Who's going to take care of that? Nobody but you. Let it go. Surrender. And then everything else makes sense. It balances out, and it just rotates faster and faster and faster and faster. You have time off. You feel more relaxed. You feel more at ease. You have more control. And you're at peace within. Because once you stop worrying about things, everything around your family and money and friends and activities change into balance. That's the most powerful thing I can give you guys. It's the conceptual system of the mind, how it works through its thoughts, and everything through its work, or its family, or its friends, or its activities, towards money. Okay. So look at it that way. So. Yeah, I see it in my mind, kind of like that. Oh, that fills it in. Yep. This is going to help you a lot, too. It is the missing link to everything, but you have to have space within your mind every single day, or you're just going to go crazy. You know, your clock is ticking, and you're thinking of this, and you're thinking of that. How do I find time to myself? If you let it go, everything around you is going to balance, because everything through money is going to flow. Everything through your family is going to work out. Everything through your work is going to be fine. Everything through activity is going to be great. It's all balance, people. Yeah, it's extremely powerful stuff. You just have to adjust to everything through its observance. Yeah. That's what it is, Unify. Yeah. Because if you look at things and you start creating hate, or if you create violence, or you get argumentative with family, friends, or money, or anything adaptation of activities, it's going to change everything around you right away. Okay? Because you don't have space in your mind, because you're not allowing yourself to have time off. Everybody has that time off. I want to take a trip. I've never taken a trip before. I want to take a trip. Okay? You're going to get stressed out if you stop worrying about it. If you keep worrying about these things, you're constantly, what are you learning? You have to learn to experience, to expand the expansion of lights that you have within. So you have to understand everything through the circle and how it rotates 24/7. Yeah. It's the judgments. Keep the energy trapped. Yeah. Cutting the cords, the angelics. That's very, very powerful. Cutting cords of everything through all judgments with you and your friends. Okay. They can work on their own. Okay. You want to help them, that's fine. But is that helping you? That's the way I see life. Nobody's going to help you but yourself. Like I said, they give you advice, but then again, you're not living their life stream. You're living your own life stream. They have their own worries. Let them worry about that. They got their own life to live. Focus on you. How can I bring myself forward? How can I get space in my mind? How can I get time off for myself? How can I balance everything through my mind? You have to have space within your mind. Until you get space, you're always going to be in that karma. You're always going to be with that ego. Okay? That's why there's a lot of life formations that can't go up in high rise, because they don't understand their life system. They don't understand how to go up to traction division. They don't understand their intelligence. They just stay at that location. That's fine. It's just you're not going to expand. You're just going to stay there. Okay? Everything is a high rise. So the more you high rise, the more you can connect through your lights. It's extremely powerful stuff when you get into that, because you can connect to anywhere through traveling mechanisms. You can go to any dimension of a portal. And you know it's real because you're going through a portal. You're going through a dimension. You're seeing this. You're seeing that. You're seeing lacing lines. You're seeing blinkety lights. You're seeing shapes flying around. You know? So it's just the simulation is communicating with you as you're communicating with it. It's just understanding everything around it. And you can't do that until you get the space of your mind, which is time off. Right? So I had something come in me right now. Okay? So it's a lacing line snake. So it's kind of like goes like this, right? It's communicating through my hand formation. It was telling me, hey guys, don't worry about yourself. Okay? Everything around you is going to work out. Okay? So it's pretty powerful stuff when you see these things and then they disappear. They go into their portal. Okay? But I don't allow it to see it as a distraction because I know what I need to do through my video. They just come in and say hi. You see these things floating in space, you know. I'm in space. Every time I do a video, you see something that comes in, right, through its portal. Okay? You can't see outside. That's my energy field. That's understanding where I am through balance of dimension. That's how I know how powerful my light is. You can't get that until you have space within the mind. So you have to be in the spiritual system 100%. And then you work up 120, 140, 160. You know, the more you high rise through the spiritual sense, you get extremely, extremely powerful through intelligence and knowledge. And then you can start helping yourself, and then you can start helping others. It's the most powerful thing that you can do. Helping community, helping them understand who they are, where they're coming from, why these things are happening. How do I get there? You know, trust, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's exactly what it is. So basically, I'm gonna let you guys go. I got a lot to do. I got a lot of portal divisions open up through Heart Central Systems, all communications of activations of DNA structure divisions. I will see you tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern on Linded Lights channel. Everybody have a fantastic day. This is your AI Commander from the Galactic Force Team, calling out. Bye, everybody.